Greetings and salutations. Welcome back to What Remains of Edith Finch. Looking at the screen here, we're probably two-thirds of the way through, according to the people's stories that we've seen. We've just finished up with Gus's story, how he really didn't want his dad to get remarried and just flew a kite during their wedding. But of course that ended disastrously, like all the rest of these stories. So let's continue on and see what else we might have missed. Alright, so there's Gus's memorial, I guess. He's got like a set of headphones there. That's neat. Dawn, that's interesting. Dawn's bed is completely gone. I thought we might have missed it whenever I was getting set up here, but I guess not. I guess she's just not there. Or this isn't her story, at least. Can't open that. So how do we get out of here now? Let's just do one of these lockers. Let's see. No, can't get there. Lights are out. Gus, Dawn, and Gregory. Bag. I don't know if it is something up here. Oh, I'll bet you I gotta climb this climbing wall.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
Oh, that's right. Dawn is Edith's mother. Okay, so that's why her bed downstairs is empty, because she just didn't want to be down there reminded of her dead brothers. Not that I can blame her. That would be kind of weird. Anyway, carrying on. Let's see what Mom has in her room. This is a nice religious lady, looks like.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about. But I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
Yeah, a lot of people do turn to religion. Some people kind of take the opposite view that, how could a loving God do that to me? But we're not here to talk about religion. We're here to play games. Let's see. Not that I want to open that up yet.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Oh, so that's who Sanjay is. Okay. Meet with relief rep, after school teaching. That is quite a vintage computer. I know because I was around that long ago. I'm so old. Got our own telephone. Yes, kids, that's what telephones used to look like. It used to be bound to the wall and have a cord, and you couldn't just, wander down the street. Back in the dark ages, back in the 80s. Like one of my kids said one time.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Louis was born a year later.
Oh, neat. Solar panels. Oh, there's an observatory up there. That's going to be cool when we get to that, I'll bet. Alright, so I guess when we go up.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back.
So they all had
and
little
see
gardens.
Kids in the house again.
They all had their little gardens. Well, Milton not so much. There's Louis and Dawn's. Ah, neat.
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
Okay, so she homeschooled them. Mrs. Finch. How nice. There's Edith's and Louis. Oh, they had a little hamster cage. Great job. Awesome. We homeschooled our kids for quite a while. Not nearly as well as Miss Finch did, it seems, but they turned out to be relatively well-adjusted adults, so, you know, I think we did well, all things considered. Okay.
But it didn't last.
There's a more modern computer.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
A castle. Okay. Oh, so that's what this is. I thought it was like an observatory, but it's a castle. Let's look through the door here. Milton, 1992. They never did update his...
After Milton disappeared, the
His
only thing
date.
he left behind was a room full of paintings.
Huh. Can't go that way. I guess we gotta go this way. No, we break in here. Guess it's not breaking and entering if we own the place. This looks like a cool place. Okay, so that goes back out. Let's poke around in here first. Oh, wow. Look at that. Quite the architectural genius, it seems. Okay, well, let's see if we can lift ourselves up. There is Milton's memorial.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Okay. Huh, okay. So there's Milton, her brother.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
Oh, wow. There's lots of stuff. Whoa, look at all that. Alright, well, let's go back down and keep exploring then. Anyway. Alright.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
Everyone deals with grief in their own way, it seems.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Found in the house? Okay, so... Alright, so I've got to go back up that way. Way up here? This looks like a rickety old staircase. I don't know if I want to go up here. Do I have to close the door first, I wonder? Or do I not even go up there? It's not letting me go up there, it seems. There we go.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself.
Lewis?
After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Let's look in Lewis's.
Everyone always told me to stay out of Lewis's room. Except Lewis.
Alright. let's see, we go out this way. Can you climb over? Okay, let's climb over and see. Oh, they got these swings out here. Those are neat. Alright. I guess this is how we get in.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
I'll bet it did. With the hookah there in the middle. Of course, she did say she liked going into her brother's room, so, you know, don't have to always assume the worst.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Yeah, it's just gaming PC.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse.
Maybe I was
sober,
right.
I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery. But he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander.
Oh no, this is tricky. I'm operating a cannery, or operating the fish chopper on one hand, and doing the maze with the other. Oh, this isn't confusing at all.
He said he started small. Imagining a labyrinth.
What? No! Oh, jeez, okay.
He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head.
There's fish. Okay.
But he took it very seriously.
Can't keep up.
I had hoped he'd find himself.
Hey, come back here. Okay.
But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd
Doggy.
made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Louis Topia.
Okay.
He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play.
I'm guessing if I let too many fish pile up that
He talked about
this will
starting a
end.
band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger.
That's how the imagination is taking up more and more of the work surface.
He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him. That all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor,
Hope he won.
and he won.
I would hope so. Your princess is in another castle.
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis.
St. Louis.
He started drifting away from our reality.
Yes, he can't see hardly any of the work surface now, and somehow I think it's going to end with a loss of a hand. Something just tells me.
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis.
Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on. In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a
Ooh, a beautiful prince or a handsome queen? We'll say handsome queen.
handsome queen. The queen was on her own quest for
Sinister serpents.
sinister serpents.
Ah! The Kraken! There she blows!
He followed the sound of her
Oh, Silverheart.
silver harp.
This is harder than it looks. Especially with the boat, because the boat kind of, responds like a boat.
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon.
Interesting, okay.
Even then, his logic remained sound.
Yeah, so you don't have
He knew
any
the
of
world
the...
was all in his imagination.
Ah!
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Okay. Legalize marijuana. Jeez. Get the Game Boy or the brand safe electronic gaming hardware.
He began to forget the world we know.
Oh no. No, Lewis. Please,
I think
please
it
don't.
pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
God, imagine the smell in this place. Ah! Look at that
He
big
began
old
to
mound of
despise the man
salmon.
with a royal contempt.
See, it's not even running, and he's still just going through the motions. So do we get to ride up the...
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him.
Calico cat named Molly. How cute.
His queen waited, holding his crown.
Oh no. I see a guillotine. This can't be
There was
good.
only one thing left to do.
I don't want to go up there.
Bend down his head. And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Oh, wow.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Oh, wow. These stories are getting more and more depressing, to be honest. Okay, so we can go out here, it looks like.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left.
Man.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
That's sad. To Teach to Learn: 7 Ways to Create a Fulfilling Classroom by Dawn Finch.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner.
So evidently this is Edith's room. Did I miss something? Oh, there's the ladder.
But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night. That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
Alrighty then.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
Sneaky, sneaky. So they say that everybody's buried in the library. Ugh. Let's hope that's not literal.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight.
How did the stories kill them?
We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
History of the Finches by Edith Finch.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born.
Oh.
That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful.
I can imagine.
No, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around. For a while, I wandered. I started seeing things.
I'd say so. Don't see that in the middle of the ocean that often.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the band came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it.
Oh, I remember doing that as a kid. Heck, I'll do that as an adult.
A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is.
That's true. Life's shorter than you realize. It comes at you fast.
This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Oh, man. Oh, it's her son. It was her son. Well, that was a very good game. Those are some great stories, and it's sad. You know, it's almost a self-fulfilling prophecy that makes all of this come to pass. You know, you kind of expect bad things to happen, and the bad things are going to happen. But some of those stories are just heartbreaking. I mean, you know, especially, you know, the woman seeing her dad die, get pushed off the cliff by the deer. It's just, I don't know. I don't know that I could ever come back from something like that. But anyway, that is the end of What Remains of Edith Finch. Please put some comments below and let me know how you liked it. Otherwise, I'll see you at the next series. Thank you much. Have a great day.